What is up, guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about Depop photography. Now, not gonna lie, I tried filming this video before and I was just going over the footage and everything I was saying, and I just decided to reshoot it in a different sort of format where I kind of break down everything step by step and just talk about Depop photography in a more broader sense rather than just saying like what I do, how I do what I do, because I don't want to give off the impression I'm telling you this is exactly how it's done, because it's just a lot more in depth than that. So anyway, let's get straight into the video. Very recently I've started branching out and doing some model shots. For a while I was just quite happy with just doing the flat lays and it was working for me, but more recently I've wanted to just change it up because we're in lockdown and I've got extra time on my hands, so I've started experimenting with modeling shots. So that is what I do personally on the Coppers Depop account, but I wanted to talk about the different types of Depop photography you can do. So obviously we've got flat laying, which is what I do. Here's an example of that. You then have modeling shots, which is when you're taking pictures of yourself wearing the items. So what I'm doing now is sort of trying to do the flat laying as well as having at least one model shot in there as well. Some people just do pure model shots. The reason I'm not too keen on doing modeling shots is because it's just a big faff for me. Like the way I have my sort of studio set up where I've got my like lighting and stuff, I can quite happily do the flat lays, get the picture. Whereas if you're doing the model shots, especially if you're just the only person that's around to sort of help, if you've got a second person, modeling shots become 100 times easier to do. But when you're on your own, it's a case of having a good tripod set up. Then you need to create a self timer on your phone, and then yeah, I just found doing the self timer and then getting a good shot of the item was very sort of draining, and I'd just end up having a camera roll flooded with several model shots of the same item. As I was saying, I primarily stick with flat laying, and I'm slowly incorporating a bit of modeling slash fit pics just to save me the hassle of whenever somebody does sort of hit me with a do you have a picture of somebody wearing this kind of thing. So yeah, in terms of types of photos, you've got your flat laying and your model shots. You've also got like hanger shots. Originally when I started out I was doing hanger shots, but just got to the point where I was just not happy with how like certain garments sit on a hanger, like t-shirts for instance. The way they sit on a hanger, they kind of just like naturally want to like crease up, and yeah, I just found it was not working well for me. So then I switched to doing like modeling shots with like a specific background, and then that's when I sort of fell in love with flat laying because it was just simple, easy to photograph. You can get the garments in the exact position you want them to be. Okay, the next point I want to cover is your store aesthetic. So having like, if you want to do Depop as like a side hustle or even like do it full time, you need to really know what your brand image is and what you want to kind of project through your store. It was a very trial and error sort of thing for me when I started out. I started with sort of just this corner of my room which was like just blank white wall, and I got one of my rails and sort of had a Supreme skateboard just about in shot, and that was like my aesthetic. That's what I was going for, and I just learned from doing that. Like I was gaining a couple sales from doing that, and then I wanted to start doing the modeling shots, so I kind of put the rail to the side and was like, right, I want a background. So I got some like, I think it was like wrapping paper or something, but it was all sparkly glitter. So I put this wrapping paper down my walls and was using that as a backdrop, and I quickly grew out of that, and that's when I found the flat laying, and I would like use the app Photo Room to edit around the item, and then I could choose like the custom background. And that's pretty much what I've been rolling with up to now. And I love my aesthetic. My aesthetic is just, I'll put an example here, but it's just a plain sort of light blue background with the garment, and I have my Coppers logo just in the corner, which I really love. Like, it's just, the blue I've got seems to work well against pretty much any garment I'm photographing. I've experimented with different colored backgrounds and whatnot, and I kind of settled on that being my color, and I've kind of run with that. Like most of my social media content has the same color sort of background, so when I'm putting stories, I've got like a template of my logo, and then this blank area of just like light blue, and then I can write stuff and put updates and whatnot. And yeah, your aesthetic will evolve over time. I sort of appreciate when people are doing like modeling shots and they've got some sort of plant in the background, or they've got like a nice wooden situation or a nice brick. Like, the opportunities for creativity are just endless with it, so definitely don't sort of try and rip off somebody else's idea. Like, being unique and original on Depop is honestly a key to success there. Like, if you can grow your page through, just having such a unique and original concept for it, I'd say that's the biggest key to succeeding over there. Because if you're just kind of turning yourself into a carbon copy of someone else's page on Depop, then that's when one, you're going to annoy this person who's worked hard to build their sort of audience and aesthetic, and just taking what they've done, they're going to be annoyed by that. So just think about it, be original. Obviously, feel free to be inspired by stuff, like try and take on some stuff I've said here, but definitely be original with everything you do, and I guarantee you'll see results from that. So yeah, my next point is consistency. So once you've sort of established what your aesthetic is, how you want to present your garments, just stick with that for a while and be consistent with it. So what I'm trying to say here is, don't change your mind all the time on what you want your sort of page to look like, because then you'll just keep changing the backgrounds, and having a consistent looking shop where all the items are presented the same just looks good to people when they come onto your page, and will sort of encourage sales, in my opinion. By all means, like, slowly evolve over time. Like, I'd say since I started, I've gone through like 3 sort of rebrand background changes, and I haven't done a drastic change to my store aesthetic in a while, because I feel like what I've got to is working for me. I'm making sales from it, and nothing has sort of suggested to me that I feel like I need to drastically change things up because it's affecting my sales. So once you've established something you really like and you're seeing results from it, like you're making sales, so yeah, once you've got your aesthetic, just be consistent, and the results will speak for themselves. The next thing is sort of lighting and editing. When I started off on Depop, I assumed to be one of the like elite top sellers, you had to have fancy camera equipment. I thought you had to run all your photos through Photoshop, and like, I thought it was way more than you actually do need to put in. Like, every image, every photo that I have on my Depop store, I've taken with my iPhone, and I've edited on my iPhone. So honestly, never sort of overthink your photography and editing situation, because honestly, everything can be done on your phone and edited on your phone. Don't feel like you have to have crazy fancy cameras to be taking your product pictures, and don't think you need Photoshop and crazy expensive editing software to create the best images. Honestly, if you've got an iPhone, the camera's probably great enough for high quality pictures of your items. I'd say the only thing worth investing sort of good money into is your lighting situation. which again isn't really expensive. Like I've got these two soft boxes on me right now, and these are the lights which I use to take my product pictures with. And I want to say these are like £30 to £50 on Amazon, so you know, super cheap really. Yeah, again, if you're doing sort of modeling shots, consider going outside, because natural light's good for capturing, you know, clothing items. It gives people a sort of very realistic idea of what the garment is going to look like, because depending on your lighting, it can sort of totally change sort of the colors of the garments. So yeah, having strong lighting's very important when it comes to taking your pictures. And again, if you don't have great lighting, don't be afraid to just get on sort of like maybe a Snapseed or Afterglow, which are a couple of photo editing apps, and you can sort of manage the white balance in there to make the items look as accurate as they are as possible. So yeah, that was just my video sort of going over my opinion on Depop photography and how to get the best pictures. Again, I was going to sort of just base this whole thing around how I do things, and I didn't want to create a video basically saying how I do everything. I just wanted to speak about it a bit more broad. So if you are more interested in doing the modeling side of it, or you are more interested in doing the flat laying side, I feel like I've sort of balanced the sort of tips and tricks either side there. So yeah, just to round up, I just go back over sort of the points quickly. So again, there's basically two ways to go with it. You can do the flat laying or the modeling and fit pick side. I'm sort of at the moment trying to do like a hybrid of both of those. Make sure you have a very original and unique aesthetic for your store. I feel like that's very important. Stay consistent with your aesthetic. Be original, and don't be afraid to, you know, take photos on your phone and edit on your phone. That's what I do, and I think that's fine. If you do want to try and take it to the next level and sort of take pictures with a DSLR and then edit in Photoshop, by all means do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but I think when you're sort of doing high volume sort of items and listings, doing it on my phone just saves me the time of sort of having to import pictures into software and then editing them on my computer, then exporting them and then getting them on my phone or computer again. So on the phone, taking pictures on the phone, editing on the phone works fine for me. Invest in some decent lighting. So if you are sort of doing flat laying indoors, decent lighting is highly recommended. And then again, if you're doing outside photography, try and get good natural lighting. And if you can't do it outside, again, get some decent lighting, have a nice backdrop, and you know, you should be able to produce some good content which will lead to good results once your items are on Depop. And yeah, hope you guys found some value in that video. If you do have any comments, if there was something I didn't quite cover in that, drop a comment down below. Be more than happy to answer that for you. And yeah, let me know what your sort of techniques are for taking pictures. Are you a flat laying kind of person, or are you a model fit pick kind of person? Let me know. Don't forget to drop your Depops down below. I really want to encourage you guys to sort of share your shops. I don't mind checking them out, giving you some feedback if you want. Also, don't forget to check out Coppers, links down below. I've been trying to sort of drop items every day. We're in lockdown now, so sort of looking for new ways to get stock as I'm sort of coming to the end of my backlog now. But yeah, check out Coppers, drop us a follow over there. I'll put the link to the Instagram down below. So yeah, give us a follow on Instagram, because that's where we post the latest stock that's just come out, any sales updates, things like that. Everything's sort of, we're always active on the Instagram, so give us a follow over there. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I've noticed if we've gained a few new subscribers lately, so appreciate you guys. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.